If you're thinking about making the move to the Charlotte area and you're not sure what the most popular or most highly trafficked and interesting places in the Charlotte area, this video is for you because we're going to count down the top 6 areas that people are relocating to in the Charlotte area so you can figure out, is this the right place, right area for you? And we're going to share and break it all down for you. And you're going to want to stick around for our number 1 area for relocation. We're starting at 6 and working our way to 1 because this one has a backstory that you'll want to hear. So stick around as we're jumping right in. Number 6 on our list is none other than the South End part of Charlotte. South End is a quick 10 to 15 minute ride up north to Uptown. Jump on the light rail, you can be into Uptown in no time if that's where you're working. And we see a lot of relocation to the South End area of young professionals moving into the area, want to have a walkable night out. There's a lot of things to do in the South End area that are very walkable, or jump on a scooter. There's a lot of those options. So you see a lot of young professionals that want to have easy access to Uptown, be able to rent an apartment before making the move to other areas as they continue to develop and grow their career and livelihood and life. South End is hugely popular for a number of reasons. Starting in the early 2000s is really when South End began to explode with the development of the neighborhood from a lot of the previous warehouses and other structures that got redeveloped and updated into the craft beer capital of Charlotte, from some of the popular breweries from Sycamore Brewing, Triple C Brewing, popular places to eat like Supperland. Just a lot of those options and the growth from the even commercial space. A lot of companies from Uptown have moved into the South End area because of the popularity of the area and the development of the commercial offices that are all essentially brand new or built over the past few years, that now it's become a hot spot with opportunities of a lot of these homes being condos to rent, apartments, or some townhomes, but essentially it's a very rent-friendly area, which is why you see a lot of relocation to the area for people looking to rent, or people moving after graduating and taking their first job at the banks in the area. South End is a popular location for that, and why it comes in at number 6. Number 5 on our list probably doesn't come as a surprise if you are currently in the Charlotte area, needed to go shopping or get that last minute Christmas present. You've been to the SouthPark Mall of many times. And that's why SouthPark is number 5 on our list. And that is because of its amenities, of the attraction. And really that started in the 1970s when SouthPark established itself as one of the more affluent areas in the greater Charlotte area. As I mentioned, the SouthPark Mall and other high-end shopping and amenities are in the SouthPark area. Home prices have not only grown, but have stabilized. It's one of those areas that has offered opportunities for investors to have their money appreciate for really anything you buy and update. But the SouthPark area is a long-standing hub of affluence and shopping, and areas where people are moving in from other areas, that there are a host of things to do within driving distance. You're about 7 miles from Uptown, 20-minute drive to get there. It's close enough to get to Uptown or get around the Charlotte area without being right in it. And you have the homes, the lifestyle that's already there that makes it such a popular destination. Always one of the areas that people are curious about what it's like to live in that area and why it comes in at number 5 on our list. Number 4 on our list, we're actually going to pop up a little bit north to an area called Huntersville, North Carolina. The reason for the popularity for Huntersville is, number 1, it's a little bit more affordable than the SouthPark area and even the South End area, but it also has the opportunities for beautiful homes. It's an expansion really as you get closer to Lake Norman, as that's continued to push south. That's some great homes and amenity areas. We talked about the SouthPark Mall, but within Huntersville, you have the Birkdale Village, essentially community, although it's a mixture of commercial, shopping, outdoor mall, high-end stores, and walking space, as well as green space. So you have a mixture of places to go within the Huntersville area, homes that have continued to pop up and has been an area of interest for people making the move to the greater Charlotte area and still be able to get to the uptown area if they're working in one of the companies in the uptown area. Banking doesn't matter. You're able to get there in 15 to 25 minutes, depending on what time day you're traveling, because traffic can be a bear, especially on 77. If you have to get on 77 south or north, it can be just a clogged drain at times. But a lot of things going on in the Huntersville area that are attractive, and the reason why it's a popular relocation destination in the Charlotte area. If you're not from the Charlotte area, you may also be surprised for our number 3 on the list, which is actually in South Carolina, and that is the Fort Mill, South Carolina city community that has absolutely exploded since the 2000s and has, for a variety of reasons, as we'll talk about, has grown in popularity for people moving into the Charlotte area, and Fort Mill always comes up on their list, and for a variety of reasons, from the homes that are going up, the things to do, the top schools that are ranked in the Fort Mill area, and all of these set off alarm for people that maybe didn't expect to start considering South Carolina when they're moving to Charlotte. Always comes on the radar and is a place they either decide that makes sense or decide to focus on some of the other hot areas, but Fort Mill is absolutely deserving of the number 3 spot. So what are the specific reasons Fort Mill has jumped out? Well, realizing that at lower property taxes that they mean relocation, anybody relocating could still get top rated schools in this area and still be in a commutable distance to uptown or Ballantyne or wherever their work may be, and it can be 25, 30 minutes depending on traffic, also on 77 this time going north. But these huge advantages are very attractive for whether you're a family or you're an individual looking for an area that provides the schools, and schools obviously help with appreciation. So a lot of these factors have driven the importance and growth in the area, which has also created more reason for developing shops and places to go that have really spiked. And we also have some videos on those great things to do in the Fort Mill area. But speaking of the schools, you have schools from the Fort Mill High School, Nation Ford High School, and in the elementary schools, Gold Hill Elementary. There's just a variety of really highly ranked schools that are driving people that want to pay less in taxes, not be right within the city, and enjoy the nature as well, with the Ann Springs Greenway, one of the largest in the Carolinas, right in the Charlotte area, right in your backyard. That is absolutely gorgeous and gives some space to go out and enjoy the greenery in the Fort Mill area. So Fort Mill has a ton going for it. It's going to continue to have a reason for people to continue looking to relocate without the higher cost of living you're going to see in some of the other areas. And that's why it's number 3 on our list. Number 2 on our list is a hugely popular area, and we actually combined 2 for this one because they're neighbors in terms of location and a lot of similarities. Different areas overall, but very similar and have a lot of the same attributes. And that is number 2, Waxhaw and Marvin, North Carolina. Both located, obviously, the Union County area, Similarities are a lot of times, even in Marvin, it may show up as a Waxhaw city, but a lot of it has to do with where the postal service is located and not necessarily that it's not Marvin. Schools in both are huge factors for the growth and importance for the relocation. Schools are always a big driver for relocation because who doesn't want to have their children going to the best schools in North Carolina, which is what we see with both Marvin and the Waxhaw area. From Marvin Ridge High School, you've got Cuthbertson High School. Some areas of Waxhaw can actually get zoned for Weddington High School, but all of these, whether you're looking at grayschools.org or just the overall test scores, are 10 out of 10 almost across the board, from college graduation to admittance. But top schools, they both have a lot of value when it comes to home appreciation. Marvin in general has homes well over the $1 million average price point, so limits itself to some buyers, a number of buyers, but the draw there, as well as Waxhaw, is the home appreciation over the past several years. They both, especially Waxhaw, has a great history of a historic downtown with stores, walkable stores and restaurants and breweries, whether it's Middle James Brewery, you can walk down to Waxhaw Creamery, listen to the train come chugging through the downtown Waxhaw area, and within minutes be over into Marvin, which is a more newly developed area, especially when you're comparing some of the other historic areas of Waxhaw. But you're looking at larger lots, beautiful homes, like I mentioned, well over the $1 million range for a lot of those homes in Waxhaw. But you're looking at schools, amenities, things to do, easier access than a lot of places to still get to uptown, whether you're driving through Providence Road to get to uptown or go shopping. You're far enough away from the craziness of busy uptown to even South End areas, but still be able to do the things you want to do, whether shopping at Blakeney, going to, like I mentioned, downtown Waxhaw, or just go through the Providence areas where there's a ton of shopping and opportunities to do whatever you want to do. It's all right there. So we see that in the Waxhaw Weddington or Waxhaw and Marvin area, and it has just created a influx of relocation activity. We see a lot of people from all over the United States, especially the New York, New Jersey, Chicago, Florida is a big relocation area to Waxhaw and Marvin areas. So there's a big reason that it is number 2 on our list, and the growth isn't going to slow down. It's only going to continue to increase, which means more developments, more traffic, or more growth in the area. So if that's a drawback of having continued growth in the area, then it might not be a fit for you, but it is a fit for a lot of people, which is why it's grown and why it's number 2 on our list. After number 2, of course, is number 1 on our list, which may or may not surprise you. We're going to jump into that one, and we have a special fact for you we're going to share as well. Well, if you've stuck around this long, first of all, thank you for sticking with me as we go through our list. And number 2, if you found value from this, I hope that you'll consider subscribing to our channel so you'll be updated on everything going on in the Charlotte area, and really providing a resource for you to learn about Charlotte and see if it's a good fit for you if you're looking to potentially make the move to the Charlotte area. In case you don't know, my name is Steve Jarrell, and I'm with the Longleaf Group at eXp Realty. All of my information is down below, so I hope you'll reach out and if you have any questions about the area, or if Charlotte's the right fit for you, reach out, and I'd love to help you in any way. So with all that said, let's jump back in and talk about number 1 on our list, which is the Ballantyne area of Charlotte. Of course, Ballantyne's is not its own city. It is really a neighborhood or focused area development within the Charlotte area. And Ballantyne has exploded, especially since the 1990s. And what is kind of crazy to think about is it wasn't that long ago that Ballantyne was actually just a bunch of hunting land, which is then, of course, then redeveloped, redesigned, reimagined to the Ballantyne we know today, which houses some of the most affluent and beautiful areas of Charlotte when it comes to a very well developed community, a thought out community master plan, with continuing to have areas that are reimagined to make Ballantyne a hub for working, living, and playing, all within the Ballantyne area. And just like some of the other areas in the Charlotte area that have been on our list and still are super popular, even if they weren't on my list, and that is the development of, I mentioned the amenities, but also the schools. The schools are still very important, and they're still very highly ranked in the Ballantyne area. Schools like Audrey Kell High School, which is one of the highest ranked in the Charlotte area, great elementary, great middle school, all across the board are drawing people with children, with tie to the community. These schools obviously play into the attractiveness for people moving in and the appreciation. So that has played a big factor in the growth in the home prices in the Ballantyne area, which has been on par with any of the fastest growth price areas in the Charlotte area. What would number one be without the popularity of shopping and things to do? And Ballantyne has all of that and then some, with areas that are super popular like the Blakeney shopping area, shopping center, which has the high-end shopping you would expect in Ballantyne. And you have the Target, Pillar stores with, of course, the Starbucks and all of the other shopping within the Blakeney and dining options within Blakeney. You have Stonecrest with the movie theater and other options within Stonecrest. And then even in addition, and we've created videos overviewing this as well, which is the new reimagined part of Ballantyne, which is the Bowl at Ballantyne, which actually was a part of the Ballantyne Spa and Resort that is also a huge benefit of the area. So go get a massage and enjoy the Ballantyne if you haven't ever. But part of that golf course is actually reinvented, reimagined, reconstructed to create what we now know as the Bowl. Has a all new, brand new outdoor space, from shopping to a outdoor park, amphitheater, the new Old Mecklenburg Brewery, which is a monstrosity of a place to go, which is absolutely gorgeous with outdoor space. And all of this within the Bowl has created another hub for people from within Ballantyne, obviously, and other areas that come into the Bowl for the enjoyment of the area, and is a huge factor for the attractiveness of the Ballantyne area, and has continued to, especially since its launch in 2024, to create just a buzz in the Ballantyne area. If you're looking for the other side or downside of Ballantyne, similar to some of the other areas we discussed that are continuing to grow, sometimes feels like they're growing a little too fast, and that would be traffic, especially during rush hour, which Ballantyne being a business center as well as residential, you have people coming and going, and they're leaving work, they don't live in Ballantyne, or they live in Ballantyne, and it just can be congested, would be putting it mildly. Taking all that into consideration, a lot to still make it such a popular area, and hasn't slowed down. As we get into our final part, as I promised, a interesting fact about the Ballantyne area, and a little quirky, but originally when the Ballantyne area was constructed, the business leaders decided to develop some statues of local business leaders. And those statues are still there today. And it's just one quirky fact about the Ballantyne area, seeing these statues. And it just goes to further play into the development of the Ballantyne area from a simple farmland to the business residential center that it is today. And those statues, you get there, it's interesting to check those out. But with all that said, Ballantyne is a absolute popular area, #1 on our list for people relocating, asking us about what it's like to live in there, which is why we created several videos and overviews of Ballantyne and amenities in the area. So definitely on the list. If it's not on your list, check it out. Reach out to me. I'm happy to share all the information about different areas of Charlotte, what's going on in, out, around the Charlotte area. I'm Steve Jarrell with the Longleaf Group at eXp Realty. We love helping people just like you every day work through their list of the top things that are important to them, top locations, and would love to help you. Make sure to reach out. All of our information is below. With all that said, thank you for joining us on our tour of popular relocation destinations in Charlotte. Until next time, we'll see you then.